What's up, everybody? Welcome to Biockickz 3 Raw TV. We're going to just kind of go over, I'm not going to talk about the Rich Piana incident with the racism things. I already kind of discussed it with Dave Palumbo. That's on my interview, Unfiltered, with Dave Palumbo, so you guys will see that. If you haven't already seen it, it'll be up soon. I discuss my feelings about it on there. Making a whole nother separate video doesn't make any sense. So that's why it hasn't been addressed yet, because Dave and I already addressed it, and I'm just waiting to put that video up because I have other things. Like, my videos don't go up the day that I fucking make them, so it's not that I was kind of dodging it. It's just that I already discussed it with Dave, and you guys just didn't know about it because, you know, it is what it is. Now, my view, I don't know, I wouldn't say view, but my experience with racism and the N-word, I am noticing, like a lot of other YouTubers, that the comment section is racial as fuck. And this has nothing to do with the YouTubers themselves. It has to do with you guys, the viewers. There is racial shit that goes on in here, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I realized, wow, it's only the internet. Well, bullshit. If you're saying things to try to get a rise out of somebody or trying to hurt somebody using the N-word or racial slurs or whatever, you may just be the internet, but you're purposely trying to hurt someone. It makes you a fucking douche. I mean, plain and simple, right? I mean, let's face facts. Like, you're not going to be on here saying fucking... I don't see people on here preaching about Jesus very often. You know, preaching about doing fucking good stuff or being a good Boy Scout and fucking helping an old lady cross the road. It's more just to hurt other people. So there definitely is... if the people are not racial themselves or racist themselves, they're trying to start something that they know is going to piss people off, which that's not racism, then that's just being a fucking piece of shit. I mean, that being said, where I grew up in Rhode Island, there were no black families. Literally in Warren, there was no black families. There was one black family when I was leaving Barrington, when I moved. Two brothers, I can't remember their names. And one was in my class and one was a couple years older than me. But they actually became the most popular kids in the whole school. Why? Because they were different. Where I grew up, if you were different, it was kind of looked upon as like a good thing or a cool thing. You know, it wasn't like you had to run with the crowd or be preppy or fucking play basketball. Like, it didn't matter. Like, you know, some of the most popular kids were in the fucking school band, like the jazz band. Like, it didn't matter. It was different, I think, than a lot of other places in America. Now, you know, as I moved away and I go back, you start seeing more families that are living in that area that are black, Hispanic, Asian. The population is changing because people are, you know, they're moving different places and stuff. It's a nice little place to live. It's quiet, you know. People want to live there. What the fuck? I live there. Why not? And, you know, where I come from with the N-word, like, this is just where I'm at. And this is just me. It's not anyone else. Like, I don't know what the fuck runs through other people's minds. The N-word for me has been taught from an early age that it is literally just a weapon to hurt somebody. Like, when I was a kid, you know, nowadays in the comment section, I get people calling me the N-word, trying to hurt me, trying to be derogatory towards me, trying to upset me. And I'm just like, why are you calling me that word? Like, are you really saying that to me because you think I'm black? Like, you're trying to be supportive because black people throw that word around all the time with an A attached to it, not the ER? Or are you saying it because you think it should hurt me because it's bad to be black? Is that what you think? Like, you're racist and you think it's bad to be black, and if you call me black, I'm going to get upset? Like, is it because my skin gets dark? Is it like, whatever? You know, bottom line is it's thrown around so much nowadays in songs and people just talking. I mean, Cali Muscle, it's every other fucking word out of his mouth. Like, I say fuck like he says the N-word. You know, like, it's just somehow some people speak, but as that word gets said more and more, people get desensitized to it. The people that are not saying it, that are hearing it more and more and more and more and more, like, you get desensitized to it, and all of a sudden, fucking, you hear it enough. It's like the word fuck. You hear the word fuck enough, you say it when you're like 8 years old. That's just how it is. You go to school and you hear it, eventually you say it. So it's like, if you really want people to stop using the word, stop saying it. Stop saying, well, we're empowering ourselves, it's okay, we took the word back. Get rid of the word. Get rid of the word permanently and don't allow anybody to use it as a fucking weapon. Saying that we can use it and you can't use it because we're black and you're not gives the other person the power to take that word and stab you with it and make you fucking mad. If everybody said, you know, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, everybody said we're not using that word at all anymore, it is just a fucking word that is not acceptable, guess what? A lot less people would be fucking using it, especially to hurt you, since fucking, you know, it gives them another avenue. Instead of just being to hurt you, it's like, you think you could say, and I can't fuck you, I'll do this, this will hurt you on top of it. Like, you can't, I don't know, it's a big problem. And again, the more it gets fucking thrown around, the more desensitized people get, the more people are going to say it. Doesn't make them a racist, it means that they fucking keep hearing it over and over again, and they're going to say it. And like, if a white person like me says that the version with the A on it, we still get fucking yelled at. It's like, it's not even the same context. You know, like, I have black friends that will be like, yo, what's up? And they'll call me that, and I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, they're waiting for me to say it. They're like, let's see if he fucking says it. And they're not going to get mad, but, like, they know. It's like this tension, this line of tension. Now, I do believe racism is a learned trait. I don't believe you're born with it. I believe that you learn it and you're taught it from an early age, whether it be parents, friends, your environment in general. I don't know. But, you know, when I was growing up, I was told basically, and I was kind of different than everybody else, which is, you know, makes it understandable. Everybody else was, I'm Portuguese, but I'm not full-blooded. I didn't speak Portuguese. I didn't have the super dark skin with the black hair and the brown eyes. Like, you know, that wasn't how I looked. So I didn't really fit in physically when I went to school. So I understood that just because your skin is not the same as everybody else doesn't mean that you're not the same as everybody else. Now, it's not the same thing as, you know, being a different race, but that's the same thing. Same thing, but not the same thing. But anyways, so when I was a kid, I remember my father telling me this story. Because I was like, you know, there was something that happened at work when I was older. And I was like, this is not fair. I deserve this. I deserve that. And my father, you know, liked to give me examples about shit that had happened to him. Kind of like I do. Like, I give you guys examples of shit that have happened. I guess I am a lot more like my father than I thought. See my ADD, how it kicks in, I jump from topic to topic, yeah. So he was at work. This was when I was a kid. I was very small, or maybe before I was even born, because I don't really remember, you know, when I was that young. And he was working for Frito-Lay. It was a company that makes Doritos, Lay's, potato chips, etc., etc. And they were doing the affirmative action where they were hiring so many black people and integrating them and giving them positions. And my dad had been there for, you know, 10 years or whatever it was. And they were going to move him up to this certain position. And he had been up for it for a while. And they were like, yep, no problem, no problem. All of a sudden, he gets called in and told, look, we can't give you the job because you have to give this guy the job because he's black. And my dad's question was, well, did I do something wrong? And they said, no, you didn't do anything wrong. Like, you're absolutely qualified. You've worked your ass for it. You deserve it. But we have to give it to him because he's black. Well, my dad's next question was, what happens when that person fails because they're not qualified? It was never about that stupid black guy or black this. It wasn't. It was about what happens when that person fails. Can he be replaced? They're like, well, no, because then it'll be like we're racist. Wait a minute. So somebody's being put in a job, given a lot more money than they deserve and they haven't worked for. And they can't be fired because then you're racist. And they're going to fail because they don't even know the job. Like, they're being thrust into a position that they don't know how to do. But this doesn't make any sense. And again, it was like reverse racism. It was like, well, you're white, he's black, so you're not going to get the job even though you're qualified. I'm sorry. And he was really upset about it, but not upset because the individual was black. He was upset because the system, the way that it was working, was not fair. And he was like, you know, if this happens, it's going to trickle down to all the rest of us to where we have an issue because this person can't do this job and lead correctly. What the fuck are we supposed to do? So now it was like the people that were working below this new individual that was going to be working there were all on like kind of high alert because like, what the fuck? One fuck up, you're gonna multi-fucking-million-dollar company that is all over, you know, nationwide. I don't know, I guess they're worldwide too. Like, this shit could go down really fucking bad really fast. And it's like, how you have to have other people picking up the pieces because this person dropped the ball. Like, he was really upset about it. And he wanted to put out the, you know, the point to me that sometimes shit in life is not fair and there's nothing you can do about it. And you have to learn to adapt. And, you know, as bad as you think something is, somebody else could be going through, because that was worse than what I was going through. And that was the whole point, was this was much worse. And there was nothing I could do except just quit and get another job. But at the time, that was happening in a lot of jobs. So it was like you kind of like were stuck because of the color of his skin. He was less likely to get the job that he was qualified for because someone else had a color of their skin that would be thrust into that position based on the color of their skin. So it was like reverse racism. So not that it's the same thing, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, as a kid, I grew up, my dad wasn't even mad because, and he grew up in the South. He was from Texas, which, you know, racism was well, you know, alive when he was fucking, you know, born in teens and, you know, preteens and early 20s out in Texas. It was absolutely a thing. But over the course of time, like, you know, he just basically decided, you know, because he had friends that were black, friends that were Portuguese, Hispanic, whatever the case may be. And, you know, he had learned on his own that, like, you know, despite what people say or they're trying to teach him or whatever the case may be or what's going on around him, that wasn't how it was and it's not how he wanted to live his life. So I've kind of just, you know, I guess been brought up in that environment. I've never used the N-word. My parents have never used it. I've never been around people where I grew up that used it, even though, you know, you hear about like, oh, this place is racist. I guess I grew up in an isolated place where it wasn't something that you did. Like, it was something to hurt people, and it was something to really fucking stab them when you maybe didn't have anything else to say. Like, maybe the argument was going south, that's the only thing you had to say. Like, you just didn't fucking say it. Like, you just didn't. So all in all, I think that, you know, racism is a problem. I think it's the person who has the racial or the racist thoughts. I think it's their own problem. Just like we all have problems, like, it's a problem. And it's also their choice to fucking think the way they want to think. So it's like trying to fucking change them unless they want to change doesn't fucking work. You know, they have to see it for themselves and understand that, like, this is not right. I don't think that I should fucking be like this or think like this, and I don't want to be like this and think like this, so I'm going to change. And until that happens, all of us can hoop and holler and say all the shit that we want about race and racial tension and racism. It's not going to fucking matter. Change comes from within with the person that it's happening in. The person that's having this hostility and the racial thoughts and the racism that's happening to them, that person has to want to change from the inside. And until that happens, like, you can argue till you're blue in the face. And what one person considers racist, another person is not. When one person considers it right, another person is not. You know, I don't know what the answer is. But I do know that, like, it's your personal own responsibility to worry about you and not me or Rich Piana or anyone else what they fucking think. If you don't like what Rich said, don't follow him. It's that fucking simple. If there's any question, like, I don't know if he's racist or not, and I don't like that, don't follow him. If you're the type of person that's like, I don't think he's racist, but I don't know, but follow him, whatever the case may be. You have your own choices, just like everyone else has their own choices. And you need to decide what's right for you, your family, you know, your little reality that's around you. And, you know, bottom line is, only you control your own destiny, and you can't control other people. BioStrengthTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostrength.com is a blog, and so you can't control other people. Bicep, and we're out.